Rafi, welcome back to my YouTube channel. And guess what? I already filmed this video, but it was so blurry. It was not focused on my face, it was focused on my background. Alright, today's video is going to be a little bit different. I really want to talk about my skin journey slash Accutane journey slash acne journey. First of all, I also want to say that I'm so sorry that I sound so stuffy and nasally, but I basically just recovered from having a fever. Anyways, in today's video, I'm actually completely barefaced, not wearing any makeup or anything at all. I decided that if I did wear makeup, it would kind of defeat the purpose of what I want to say in this video and the message that I want to put out in general. So yeah, here's the story and here's my journey. So it all started when I turned 18, or maybe even a little bit before that. I struggled with really bad acne. If I remember correctly, it was categorized between moderate and severe, but leaning a little bit more towards moderate. I'm not really a person who likes to complain, so I never really complained about it that much, especially in the beginning, because I'm also a person who likes to see the brighter things in life, and I was really trying my best to tell myself that this was something that was normal, that it was all a part of growing up, and maybe it was just a little bit later compared to other people. I really did try to tell myself that it was okay. At the time, I had no idea that this was actually a genetic thing. A lot of other relatives of mine had gone through the same thing and actually ended up taking medication, which is what I ended up doing anyway. So I want to say this was like February 2022. At this point in time, we didn't have face-to-face school because of COVID, and everybody was wearing masks too, so on the most part I felt pretty covered up. However, of course, I wasn't wearing a mask 24/7, and in these moments that I wasn't wearing a mask, I did struggle. I had pretty difficult experiences, especially in terms of other people. I remember this one interaction that will kind of stick to me forever. It was actually a family gathering, and I remember there were two of my relatives that I had just greeted, and they kind of had this really weird look on their face as if they were kind of grossed out. And then I remember another family member greeting me, and they looked at my face and they went, "Oh my god, like, what happened to your face? What did you do?" And I just remember feeling so crushed, like genuinely crushed. In that moment, I just wanted to disappear, and quite frankly, I just never felt uglier in my entire life. To have someone actually react to you in that way verbally from just like seeing your face and how you look was very hurtful, and it really did mess with my self-esteem and how I perceived myself at the time. This was around March 2022, and I remember maybe a week after that, my mom was on the phone with an aesthetics or dermatology place, and she was saying that my skin or my face had gotten really concerning, and I remember just feeling really bad. I even thought to myself, how could it get to this point where someone could even call my face concerning? But I now understand where the concern, at least from my parents, were coming from. I think they just sensed that I was starting to have these feelings of insecurity, and honestly I was just like really frustrated because I had started to do these treatments. We were doing these facials, you know, like the normal facials with pricking, and we also did this one chemical facial that was with glycolic acid, I think, and it was just painful. I remember coming out of it literally just feeling so swollen, and my face was so red. And if anything, these treatments at the very beginning weren't helping at all, and they made my acne even worse than it already was. It was genuinely painful, and because of that, we stopped going to that one place and we went to an actual dermatologist at a hospital, and I can't remember who referred her to us, but I'm so grateful to whoever that was, because when we started seeing her, that's when things started to really get better for me. So I started taking Isotretinoin, which is more commonly known as Accutane, but that's actually just one brand name that this is sold under. There are many different brands, but the medication itself is called Isotretinoin. It's an oral medication, so it's a pill that I took every day. It's prescribed by a doctor, of course, and the biggest reason why it has to be prescribed is because the side effects are pretty severe. Really severe, actually, in some aspects. First of all, you're not allowed to get pregnant, which obviously isn't really an issue for me, but if you do get pregnant on this medication, it can cause birth defects, miscarriages, and other complications. I don't really memorize them all. And other than that, obviously there are other general side effects like dryness, you know, dry skin, severely chapped lips. Some people say that they can get nosebleeds and that it can irritate their eyes, and I've heard of people getting thinner hair and also some side effects when it comes to their mental health. I personally feel very lucky because I never experienced any of these really, but I think it's because I was prescribed the lowest dosage, which is 10 milligrams a day. It was just this very tiny purple pill. My skin type is oily to begin with, so when it dried out my skin, it kind of just made it normal. Some Sometimes my lips would get a little bit chapped, but there wasn't really anything that a little chapstick couldn't fix. When on this medication, you are also told that your skin will be very sensitive, so you definitely need to be better when it comes to sun protection, and you can't really get like tattoos. Now, I really want to mention why I was put on the lowest dosage and why I stayed there. It's really important to know that when you're on this medication, you're gonna have to take blood tests or labs every month because you need to check on your vitals because they may be affected by the medication, which is actually what happened to me. My cholesterol levels were spiking up because of the medication, and because of that, my doctor decided that it would be better if I just stayed on the lowest dosage. Most especially for the 1 month that I was taking 20 milligrams instead of 10, it was definitely way higher than we wanted. Even though this made the process a lot longer, it was definitely the smarter and better decision in terms of my health in general. So I started taking the medication in April 2022, and in the beginning, what happens with this medication is that you start taking it and your skin actually purges first. What this means is it'll actually worsen before it starts to get better. I think this was probably the lowest point for me in terms of my self-esteem, and honestly I just felt really bad because I was thinking to myself, wow, my parents are gonna have to spend so much money just for me to get rid of my acne, which isn't even under my control in the first place. It's a chronic skin disease and it's in my genetics, so I didn't really have a choice but to go through it. But anyways, I was taking it, so then my skin did start to get better eventually, and basically all my acne had settled down just in time for college, my freshman year at college, so I'm very grateful for that. However, I still did have a lot of like dark spots and some scars. After my first semester, I went back home to the Philippines for winter break, and this is when I got my fractional laser treatment done. This was done just to help with the scars and dark spots in general, but I didn't really feel like I needed to do it after because it's pretty expensive, so I never got that done again. But I did still have the prescription things that my dermatologist gave me, so like a topical retinoid and neotone, which still helps with the scarring. And I basically just kept taking the same 10 milligram prescription every single day for about almost 2 years. It's now July 2024. This is what my skin looks like, and I just got off the medication in March or April. I can't really remember when exactly, but this is what my skin looks like now. I'm very close to the camera, but I really want you guys to see how it is now. Again, I'm not wearing any makeup or anything for this video, not even moisturizer. This is literally me at my most raw form. I don't know. Yeah, I still do get zits and pimples here and there, obviously, because of hormones and whatever. But other than that, it's looking pretty good. And that was kind of my whole journey. I remember the first time that I washed my face and I couldn't really feel like these huge bumps on my face anymore. I was so happy. And little by little, my self-esteem just kind of came back. But this came with a lot of inner work, and this is what I want to talk about now. You know, this was probably one of the most humbling experiences ever. There was a lot of pain involved, you know, from the initial procedures. It was very painful physically, but more than anything, it was very emotionally tolling for me. I remember crying a lot because I felt so insecure, and I genuinely didn't want anybody to see my face, which is such a heartbreaking thing to think about now. You know, I consider myself to be someone that's very much full of life, but during this period of time, I just didn't want to show myself to anybody. And it was all I could think about for a while. I just didn't want anybody to see what I looked like, and I wanted to hide all the time. And honestly, my interactions with people weren't really helping me a lot either. I felt like they were kind of validating my negative thoughts. However, I wouldn't trade the experience for anything else because I think that this really taught me or opened my eyes to what I truly value in my life and in myself and in my being. My confidence has gone up a lot since then, and it's not because my skin is clear now and I can stand in front of a camera and just be myself because my skin is clear and not the way that it was back then, but because I know that with or without makeup or whatever my skin looks like, I'm still the same person at my very core. I'm way more than my physical appearance, and I think we're all we have so much more to us than what we look like. Beauty and physical appearance can only bring you so far, and I don't feel like I'm the prettiest girl in the world. I know that I'll never be the prettiest person in the world, but that's the point. I don't think it's important whether or not I am prettier than someone physically or whatever. I'd much rather be known for my hard work and my talent and the kindness that I put out into the world and the energy that I bring. Your physical appearance will never ever diminish the beauty that comes from within and from your character. However, if you're not a very good person, that can definitely diminish the way that people see you. Like, look at your mom and your dad and your siblings and your friends. I don't think you'd say that you love them because of the way that they look, and I really don't think that they would say that either about the reason why they love you. And if they did, don't you think that's pretty shallow and not real love? I look way different than I did back then, and honestly, even personality-wise, I'm a lot different. But I think both versions of me are beautiful and equally deserving of love and respect, and I think all of us are equally deserving of love and respect. perfect. I would never ever wish what I felt back then upon anyone. So I really hope that this video helps at least one person, literally just one person out there, feel more comfortable in their skin, because I honestly really wish that I had that kind of support back then. Know that you are truly and absolutely beautiful no matter what, and please, please never allow anyone to make you feel otherwise. And yeah, that's all. Thank you so much for watching. If you did make it this far into the video, make sure to comment this down below in the comment section. I love you. Make sure to tell yourself that as well. And make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!